Doug's such a deserving artist in so many ways. And he hasn't, the last record came out in what, 11, 12?
Yeah.
Like he's been busy doing other stuff, but not really Fizzle Like a Flood. So I'm like, it's time. People need to get behind this. And I love his last record. It's my favorite. I know everyone wants to go all the way back to Golden Sand and the Grandstand,
Are
which
you
is a
talking
fine
about,
record.
was Choice Kills Response? Was that the one you're talking
That
about?
was, yeah, that
Yeah.
was the last one. And it's fantastic. And I handed CDs to numerous other people I knew, and they were just like, holy crap, this is great. And I'm like, yeah, it's my favorite record of his. And he's grown so much as a musician between even, I mean, from Golden Sand up until Choice Kills Response. But like I said, it's been almost another dozen years. And he's done a lot more with music, whether it was the Dull Cares Project or playing in numerous other bands. I mean, Bull Nettles, Broke Loose. I'm excited to hear the rest of it. And I'm excited to hear it all as a whole.
Here's why I would encourage folks to support the Fizzle Like a Flood Kickstarter. Number one, supporting art in general is great. It's great for artists. It's great for the people who become patrons of the art. It's just a good baseline activity to engage in. Number two, specifically, in my opinion, Fizzle Like a Flood is one of the great, I hate to use the word unsung because there's a great deal of people who appreciate Doug's music around Omaha and in other reaches. But Fizzle Like a Flood to me is one of the great unsung music stories of the Omaha indie scene, okay, of which Doug was a tangential part at one time. Fizzle Like a Flood, when I met Doug, his music was the first stuff I'd come across being made by a local dude in the music scene that I was a part of that sounded like, oh my God, I found something that like makes sense to me. Like it's vulnerable, it's sensitive, it has clever wordplay, it has sugary pop hooks, which you don't often find on the indie side of things. Where's the hook? And when I came across Doug's music, I was like, oh, this guy writes pop tunes, but he also saturates them in these incredible soundscapes. And so it was like, so to my second point, I was always amazed like that. I'm like, why isn't he famous? Why isn't this record charting? Where are the people? Why doesn't anybody else seem to know about this except like 8 people? I would love it if the Kickstarter blew up because every time he comes out with an album, I listen to it and I'm like, I don't understand why Pitchfork is not on this, writing it up. You know this, Doug.
Yeah.
Okay? I have to restrain myself from kissing him. And third, it's his, aside from popularity and like spreading the word about something, his work is just so good. Like he's an artisan, you know, he's a craftsman. So you can tell like this stuff is handmade magical dust, you know, for your ears.
I love it.
We're talking to Matt Whipkey, Omaha musician, about Doug's new album, Black Walls in William Hall. Matt, why would you encourage folks to support this Kickstarter?
Oh man, I think, well, for one, I enjoy, like, I'm so happy to hear that he's doing one because I genuinely enjoy these things. I think it's a nice,
Kickstarter?
Yeah, I think it's a nice peek into like a bit of like an artist's world, you know, that maybe you wouldn't see otherwise. And I think in this knowing Doug, he's not gonna like, he's gonna go all in with it. So I think there's a lot of value, like an added value, just the record. It's just like the kind of being privy to the journey and kind of and the thing with him, like the way he makes records, so there's so many little details. It's almost kind of like warranted, and I think most people that are aware of his music understand that. But I think it's a good way to give that insight to maybe some people that are unfamiliar with the worlds he creates. Because truly, it's not just like, I mean, in all honesty, he's not just putting out just like, here's like a collection of songs that are like some and that's a beautiful thing too. But he kind of creates a whole like universe, and that takes a long time to do, and it's a real beautiful process. And like, I mean, I've done a few of these kind of concept records, and the only reason I ever did one because I know this guy. I mean, like, I did my Penny Park record is a Golden Sand. I mean, it's like, and so I think it's an awesome thing. In that it's a story. He's telling a story, and there's like a history behind it.
Yeah.
There's just a lot like
it's very
facets.
Omaha. It's very specific.
Yeah, and for people that like that, that's a real added value, right? Like but outside of, if you don't have that connection, you can just like jump right in, and it's a bit of a oral, like, it really is a journey. Like, he's like the one guy who's consistently, like, I know him so well, but like I can listen to his music, and it doesn't take me too long, even something I played on, to put myself removed from having been a part of it, or even knowing the person who did it. And I think that's real special. That's a cool thing to be able to accomplish. That it's easy to remove yourself from like, I know this guy, I work with this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know this guy really well, I've known him for years, I play in band with him.
Yeah.
I can listen to those songs and kind of forget that I may even know this person.
Just be immersed.
Yeah,
in what it is.
Yeah, just because there's so much like happening, and that's cool. I think that's all in his head, and that's a part of his world.
Why would you encourage people to support Doug's Kickstarter, Fizzle Like a Flood's Kickstarter for the new album Black Walls in William Hall?
First off, is because they always support other people's Kickstarters, so you should support Doug's just because. No, I think it's always fun to support a creative endeavor. And I think with albums like that, it's really hard for musicians to actually front a whole lot of stuff if they want to do something nowadays very creative, which pressing a record even is expensive, and it's not like sure, we can release music for free, we can get it out there for everybody, but this is something that showcases a few different aspects of Doug. So it's not only the musical part, but pair that with the thematic part of the haunted houses, and then pair that with some extra stuff that you get, and I'm sure he'll sign the record for you if you really ask him to. So it's something not just putting out music into the world and that you're just helping this musician throw out another record. This has been something that he's been planning for years, and so it's a very special thing that he wants to collaborate with everybody that would like to collaborate with him, and by supporting the Kickstarter you actually get to collaborate with them. And that's the other thing too, so some of these musicians will do these things and they're not going to be playing out live where you can support them, buy a t-shirt, they may only or even hear the music, so if you can't go support them that way, well then you can support them either by just giving a little bit to help create the pressings of the music media, and then buy any of the merch that you get to put up online. You can do it all digitally now. Everybody can hide in their home, listen to some cool tunes, support some musician, and also have some fun stuff. But it's a way to help, I think, part of the creative community overall. I might even do it. So hey.
You should support Doug's Kickstarter. This is to help him realize a dream, but also just to encourage artists all over that their work is important and the message that they're spreading is important. Because Doug's not just writing a pop album. He's documenting through his experiences and his love of Halloween and haunted houses. He's documenting like an important part of Omaha history. He's honoring the history of Mystery Manor that was super important to people in our generation. And what a great thing! Like nowadays, you can consume music so fast on your phone and you don't even think about it, but like to actually have like a physical copy, like physical media, a record album, and that even harkens back to like the spookiness of like maybe the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, having that vinyl album to hold in your hand and read the credits while you watch it spin like in a Ouija board planchette. It's going to be incredible. But Doug has just got such a vision as an artist and super creative. So if you've got $1, $5, $10,000, whatever you could contribute to Doug's Kickstarter to help him realize his dream of putting out this fantastic album that all his friends are contributing to musically, It'd be such a great thing, and it'll be great for our community, like our artistic community as well.
It's like support it because I've heard it and it's like awesome.
Mhm.